I'm sitting here in the dark waiting on McDonald's because apparently their system went down and they said it'd be about 45 minutes they'll be back up. So I'm just kind of hanging out. If they're not back up in about 10 minutes, I'm leaving though, I know that. But I wanted to talk to you guys about something. I look for just random things to do, stuff that I've never done before. Let's see if I can do this. Hold on. This might help my light situation. I don't know. Cool. I don't think it helped at all. But anyway, I look for random things to do, just to try it out, see what happens. It's raining. Just started. So anyway, I signed up for Uber a long time ago to be an Uber driver, and I never really thought I would want to do that. I didn't like the idea of having someone in my car. Now, to be fair, when I signed up for it, I didn't own this car, so I was trying to use a rental car to do it with, and they wouldn't allow it, so I never went any further with it. I pretty much passed the entire process except for the part where, sorry, I was reading a notification, where you have to add your car. So I just kind of left it at that, didn't really mess with it. And then a friend of mine used to do Postmates a while back, and I was thinking, that sounds like something I could do. It's dumb but easy, and yeah. So now they've got where I live, Uber Eats. I got another message. Let's see. I received a payment. Yay. Anyway, so now we've got Uber Eats in my area, and I thought, I would like to try Uber Eats. I have a car, which qualifies for Uber Select if I wanted to. So I was like, whatever. So I went on to Uber, and I finished the vehicle verification and signed up to do deliveries. I had already been approved for Uber X as long as I had a car, so they gave me that as well. And I thought, you know what, I'll give it a try and just see, one day, a couple hours, just kind of see where it goes. I see people who say they make good money, and I see people who say they don't really make that good money. And I think it really depends on where you are and what you're doing. So in my area, I can say that it's not really worth the time. There's no justification to make it worth it, in my opinion. The only thing that I could think of that would halfway make it worth it is if I could use a rental car, which they won't let me do that. Well, hey, I found a light, but I can't really lay back to talk to you guys. So, and I can't use a rental car because they don't allow it. So it's like, it's pretty pointless. The whole thing is pretty dumb. So, anyway, I did 2 hours today. In those 2 hours, I had 2 food deliveries and 1 passenger. And the food deliveries were okay. I made about $5 each round or each delivery, which was decent. I didn't really have to go that far. I found the hot spot where most of the food gets ordered from, so I just kind of hung out there. And then as an order would come in, I'd be right at the place. I'd just go right in, I wouldn't need to, drive very far. The one issue that I ran into was the app telling me they were somewhere they weren't. So, for example, when I left a restaurant, the customer lived about 2.5 miles to the right. Like you pull out right of the parking lot and then go 2.5 miles. Well, Uber was telling me to go left 0.25 miles. So I went left, went down about 2 blocks. The person's not standing in the middle of the street where it's saying they should be, so I called them, and I went the wrong direction. So I ended up having to fight traffic to get back through to go the other direction, which caused an issue. Really, it slowed the whole process down by about 10 minutes just because of traffic. And I blame the Uber app because it was telling me an incorrect address. So the second order that I did, here comes a car. I don't know if you've seen that. So cars going into McDonald's. We're going to check in the background here to see if they pull up to the window. If they don't, then the system's still down, and I'll know that I can just leave because I am not waiting much longer. So anyway, the second order, the address was right, and took it right to them, had no problems. So the first order, I guess she was happy that I called her. That may be a semi truck that just pulled in. Anyway, she gave me a $10 tip, and that's really all that made it worth it. So that truck's leaving. That means the system's still down. So this is a waste of time. So anyway, whatever. I got a tip, and without the tip, it wouldn't have been worth it. So for 2 hours, I only got 3 trips. The 3 trips paid a total of $13.40 or something like that. And really, it wouldn't have been worth it if I hadn't got the $10 tip that I did get, which made it $23, which still was only like $11.50 an hour. So that's not good. It's not great, considering most jobs nowadays pay $10 an hour here, and you don't have to use your car to do the work. So yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at with that. Will I do it again? Maybe when I'm bored, or if maybe there's a surge or something, I want to try it out again. I'll try it out. I'll do the deliveries. I'm not doing another passenger. Just because the passenger, I mean, it was okay. It was, the person didn't leave a mess or anything like that. It was a perfectly fine thing. But I have a couple of reasons why I won't do passengers. One, it paid the least, which you would think taking a person versus food would pay more. The food pays more. So that makes no sense. So I ended up making like $3 off of the passenger. She went 2.6 miles. Whereas the food deliveries were, I had one that was 2.6 miles. It paid $5. And then I had another one that was only like 1.6 miles or something, and it paid $5. So it seemed like the food, you got paid the same amount regardless, but it usually doesn't have you run all over everywhere to get the food. It's usually pretty close to where you already are, pretty close to where you're picking up from. So, it all worked out in the end. The passengers, they can say they want to go wherever, and it doesn't always pay that well. Now, if you're doing a long trip, sure, maybe it would pay well, but then you got to think, wear and tear and mileage, and, that's not really useful. So anyway, the other reason I don't like passengers is because whenever you get a food order, you can go pick up the order, and you have time to look at your phone and take note of the address of where you're delivering the food to. And, if you want to, like I did, I punched it into my GPS in the car because it's way more accurate than the Uber app. So I use the GPS in my car. And you can't always do that when you have a passenger, especially, I picked the passenger up today. She wasn't talkative. So, she didn't say, hey, I'm going to blah, 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 because she'd already put it on the app. I guess she felt like she didn't need to do that. And so I had no clue where we were going, and the app doesn't tell you, you're going to McDonald's on blah, blah, blah street or whatever. So you're just kind of like following it blindly. Make a left at the next, and it's like, I don't know where I'm going. So I ended up missing a turn because I needed the left lane. I had no clue I needed the left lane. It didn't tell me that. It didn't tell me we were going to turn. It just said, turn left now. And it's like, what? I had no heads up that I needed the left lane. So ended up having to make a U-turn, completely missed it. I figured that I wouldn't get a good rating on that. And I just don't like it. Maybe there's a better way. Maybe, I know that you can set the app to not use the Uber navigation, and you can use like Google Maps navigation. And in that case, obviously it has to know where the destination is going because it's sending it to Google Maps. So I guess you could see at that point where you're going. But my first experience, it didn't work so well. I didn't enjoy it. At least with, food delivery, you've got a second. When you get the food in the car and you sit down and you turn the car on, there's not someone in the back seat waiting on you to move. Like, why are you still sitting here? So you've got a second to look at the phone and say, okay, we're going to this address, and then punch it into your GPS. And, it's perfectly fine to do that. So food delivery's way easier, paid way better. So that's my take on the Uber experience. I've only did 1 day, 2 hours. I don't intend on doing it again anytime soon. I have another job, an actual job that I go to, which tomorrow is my last day off. So I'm not going to use my last day off doing Uber. So go back to work Saturday. I don't get off again until Tuesday. So I probably won't be doing Uber on Tuesday either because work is just, you get to the point where you're just like, oh my gosh, I just want to go home. I don't want to do anything. So tomorrow I'll probably go back over there to where I was today, but I won't be doing Uber. I'll probably go get my own sub sandwich that someone ordered today and I thought it smelled amazing, but, but that's probably all I'm going to do tomorrow. So anyway, that's my take on Uber. Gave it a try, didn't really like it. I watch other people, I watch streamers who do Uber Eats deliveries, and I love watching their streams. And I had honestly thought about, doing that. I could get another phone or even use one of my iPads and stream while doing Uber Eats, but I don't know. It's just not me. It's not for me. So, like I said, I might try it again if there's a surge or something, but, under regular hours, I'm just really not interested in $5 a trip and, or less. And then if you don't make any tips, you only get 2 trips an hour, you're making less than $10 an hour. You only get 1 trip an hour, you're making $5 an hour. It's like, that just it's not worth it at that point. So, and there were a few other trips, that I did get during the process, that were just so far out. It was like, I'm only going to get paid $5. That's like the base rate for Uber Eats. Unless it's, I don't know. I didn't take any of the longer trips, so maybe it would pay me more. But the problem is the restaurants were so far away that, like, I've got to drive 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get to the restaurant just to pick up the food. And what if they live right around the block? Then I'm not getting paid anything, mileage. Because, maybe I drove all the way across town to get to this restaurant. You don't get paid for that. You're only paid from the point you pick up the food to the point you let the food go. And it wasn't worth it. Like, there was no point in driving across town to do an order that may have just been right there next to the restaurant. So, that's another thing. Also, it wouldn't show me where the person lived until after I picked up the order. So you have no clue how far you're going to be driving to deliver. And maybe there's a way around that. Maybe there's a way to see that I just haven't figured out yet. If anyone knows, let me know. But there's a lot of restrictions in this app that just, I don't know, it didn't play very well with me and I didn't like it. So that's my test of Uber Eats delivery. And like I said, I have a job. I would rather not go across YouTube telling where I work or what I do. But my job opens me up to be able to do more vehicle reviews in the future, possibly. So stay tuned for that. I'm planning on sometime in October working on a review of something nice. I've already drove this vehicle and I did not review it, and I felt like a complete idiot. And so I don't want to get anyone's hopes up in case it doesn't happen. But if it happens, I will definitely work on a review this time because I definitely need the content for my channel. I never do anything on YouTube anymore. And I hate to abandon things like this, but I've got to get back into YouTube. I've got to get to doing these videos. Yeah, I've got a job now and I've got other things going on in life, but I need to make time for a little bit of everything so I can keep everything running smoothly. So that's my goal. Let's go see if McDonald's is open. If not, I'm going home and I'm just going to say, forget it. I'm not going to eat tonight. See you guys later.